Hey guys, my name is Anthony Manuel. I am the head of marketing and social media with No Filter Network. And today I'm going to show you how you can create great looking custom graphics for your stream, for other social media content if you want to promote your streams, and just how to make a really good looking image that will make your streams look a little bit more professional, make your social media pop a little bit more, get people's attention. And I wanted to show you this because it's actually very, very easy, even though I get paid to do social media and stuff. And you do have to have a bit of an artistic background. I have a graphic design background. I actually use a program that's incredibly easy to use called Canva. There's a free version of Canva that you can use. That's canva.com. And I'm going to show you exactly from front to back how to make a great looking graphic. So if you go on to nofilter.net, you can see that on my profile, I have all these upcoming streams, and all of these streams have these nice looking custom graphics. So I have a picture of me that I use for all of them, different colors. I got the branding on point. So depending on the, I basically have three different podcasts. I have the Set the Tone podcast. I have the Art of Move, which I'm doing with Dr. Will. And then I have the No Filter Hustle, which is this. This is the instructional video series for No Filter. And how I make these custom graphics that look so good when you use them on the thing is with a program called Canva. So I'm going to go to Canva and I'm going to show you exactly how you can make your own custom image card, just like the ones that I have on my profile. So first, you're going to have to get an account on Canva. Like I said, you can sign up for free. I'm going to be using the paid version of the account, which basically gives me more access to clip art, different graphic images, videos. It'll just offer more features, but everything that I'm doing, you should be able to do with the free version of Canva as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is on the top right-hand corner, we're going to hit Create a Design. And there's a very specific size that works really well for the No Filter logo. So you can see here, these are my most recently used ones. There's Instagram stories, Instagram posts, and if you search for, say you wanted to make a Facebook cover, you could go Facebook cover, and it would show you the different sizes that it has. You could also, but for what we're going to be doing is we're going to look up banner. And a landscape banner is what we're going to be looking for on Canva to make our custom image. So just to go again, once you're on Canva, you sign in, you hit Create Design, you search Banner, and then you hit Banner Landscape, which is a 72 by 36 inch image that we're going to make. So it's going to open it up in a new tab here. It's taking a little while to load today because at the same time I'm eating up a lot of bandwidth and Wi-Fi right now. So we can close this. Also, Canva will save all your designs, so you can see all the posts that I've been making for the social media pages. Everything is popping up there. We have this blank page, and on the left, you'll see they immediately have a whole host of different templates. You could use one of these templates, but I'm going to show you how to make one from scratch. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to set the background, and you can decide what kind of background you want, but what I like to do is I like to go to Photos, and let's say I want to use a dark themed background. So I'm going to search black. And when I search black, you get all these different background options. And you can kind of scroll through them and choose which one you like best. I like something that's a little bit simpler. This is like a black mesh. It's almost kind of on brand with No Filter. So we're going to use that black background. And all I did was click that and drag it over here. The other option that you can do is you can just click it, and then the image will pop up in the middle. What you do from there is you right-click, and you can say Set as Image Background, and then you have a background for your image. Now, if you want to do what I do, where I'm putting my picture in there, and I'm putting pictures of other people on there, I'm going to show you exactly how to do that really quickly. So I'm literally going to come here. I'm going to take a selfie on my camera. I'm gonna smile for the camera. And then I have a MacBook, right? So I can airdrop this to myself, but if you don't have an Apple product, you can literally just email yourself the image And so I'm getting the picture sent from my iPhone. I'm going to open that up. What I'm going to do, that's a great picture. Look at that selfie. That's some top level selfie game right there. So I'm going to copy that. So Control C. Or you can also take the picture. You can drag the picture right in. But I'm going to paste that in with Control V. And now this doesn't look very good because I got the background going on. Yeah, I'm smiling and yeah, it's cool and everything, but the background kind of clashes with everything else. So once the image uploads, you'll see this edit image. It says wait for the source image to finish uploading before applying effects. So that basically just means that this image is showing, but it hasn't fully uploaded to Canva yet. Once it's fully uploaded to Canva, I can do all kinds of cool editing effects to it. So now it's fully uploaded. I can hit that edit image. And my favorite effect on this program is called background remover. And all you have to do is click it once. You wait for a few seconds. La da da, la da dee. Cool. And then the background is gone with one click. It's that easy. So I'm going to hit the apply. I don't like being in color when everything else is black. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the filters section. I'm going to go lower down into filters. I'm going to scroll all the way to the right. I'm going to hit street. Try grayscale. So the grayscale looks a little bit better. And then I'll just slide up the brightness a little bit so you can actually see me. So there you go. Now I have a black and white picture of myself, this cool black background. What you do is when you click on the image, the little square will kind of appear around it. What you can do is in the corners where these circles are, you can make it bigger or smaller. So I'm going to make myself a little bit smaller here so that I can make some graphics. Now, next part we're going to go into, we're going to go to the elements and we can add different shapes. So if you search rectangle in elements, for example, you have this basic rectangle that you can stretch out lengthwise, you can shrink it, you can make it bigger, smaller. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little bit narrower and longer. And we're just going to make this, we're going to do no filter colors. We're going to make it blue. And then what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to make, so what's cool about the element is you can search all different kinds of shapes. So say I was doing a podcast about basketball, I could search basketball. Then I have this basketball here, right? So if I wanted to change the color, you'll see in the top left-hand here, there's the color. You hit that, the color menu opens up, and I can change it to whatever color I want. So I'm going to put the basketball here. I'm going to make it bigger so that it's overlapping on both sides of the rectangle. But then I'm finding, usually what I find is that when you're using event cards, it kind of sucks it into the middle. Like if you look at my event cards here, they go a lot wider than the actual landscape, if it actually loads. Anyways, what you want to do is when you're formatting these for the event cards, you want them to be narrow and sort of more biased towards the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shrink the whole thing. And how I did that was I went outside and I dragged my cursor onto the basketball and the blue rectangle, and I'm going to make it smaller for the middle. And now what's cool about Canva is it'll show you where the middle is with a solid purple line. So now that rectangle is squarely in the middle of my page, and now my head is squarely in the middle of the page. So it's perfectly aligned. Canva does all that work for you. You don't have to bust out a ruler or anything. So this looks good so far. This is pretty basic. What I'm going to do next, actually, you know what? This looks really cool. This is a pro one. And this basketball looks nice, but we're going to actually use that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the color to my colors here. And then boom, now we have a way cooler looking, that looks way cooler, hey? That's a way better looking logo right now. So that's the other thing is like if you scroll down, there's so many different graphics. I like going graphics and then kind of scrolling around and what works good. We can all kinds of different stuff here, but this is pretty good, but we need a title for our stream. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in And there's all different kinds of fonts and font presets that we can do. One of my favorite go-tos that is just very standout is this one that says glow. And so once the glow pops up, I'm going to say basketball with Anthony. Now this is an issue, right? Because now all the text is sort of jammed into this box. Well, you see the box, and with these two little rectangles on the side, you can stretch it out, and then stretch it out. And then what you can do from there is you can drag it up. Now, obviously, that doesn't quite fit, so I have a few different options. The first one is I could make it still a little bit jammed. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to just shrink it until it's the right size, like that. Basketball with Anthony. And I don't really like this this pink, so I'll change the color. On text, there's that little A with the bar of color underneath. That's where you'll find your color menu. So I'm going to change it to white. And actually, with the glow, I kind of like how it looks like with black. That looks okay. If I scroll up, I have my presets. And then again, this is really, really tiny, so I'm going to make it big. And I'll align it, make it white, and then I'll put the time. So this will be at 4 p.m. PST, 7 p.m. EST. That's too big. So the other option that I have, if I like the alignment but I don't quite like the size, is if I go right here, you can change the font size. So I'm going to change the font size to like 80. Okay, I like that better. And I'll align it here. And that's the basics of how you would make a background image. So I'm going to start from scratch here. I'm going to completely eliminate everything, and I'm going to show you again, just step by step, how I do this. So we're going to make an event image for the upcoming show Deuces Wild, which is happening tonight with Eric Burns, right? So Eric Burns last night, he had an amazing show with a bunch of MLB players, and I want to make a promo post for it, right? So I'm just going to check the chat here. The power of magic. Yes, it is magic. Honestly, it feels like magic when I'm doing this. So if I wanted to make a promo post on Instagram, sometimes what I'll do is I'll go to the videos and I'll search baseballs. And there's oftentimes a lot of unrelated videos, or like videos of people just wearing a baseball hat or something, right? So I'll try to find the most relevant one. What I'll do first is I'm going to set this background. If you want the background to be a solid color, you can literally change the color here. We go back to videos of baseballs, and I've used this one quite a few times. So this is just a video of baseball gloves with the mitts and everything, and I can do the exact same thing. I'll hit right click, replace background, and then if I double click that, I can align the video to fit in the frame. So I'm going to just align it there. I can take a peek at how it's going to look. And I like this. However, it's a little bit too bright. It's too in your face. It's going to distract you from what's happening in the foreground. So if I want this to be a little less obvious, there's this button up here near the top right called transparency. I can just drag that down, and it'll be subtle in the background. So people will still have this background sense of, oh, there's some baseballs happening there, but it's not the distracting thing, right? So I'm going to go into my uploads now because I have a bunch of uploaded photos. You see this photo that I just had, I uploaded my selfie. And then I have a bunch of images of, I have Will Clark, who's going to be there tonight. I have Johnny Gomez, who's going to be there tonight. And I saved all these images, right? So I got Will Clark, I got Johnny Gomez. Who else is going to be there? Got all kinds. Hey, look, it's Stephen Luker. Stephen Luker is going to be there tonight. Let's put him in there for fun. Okay, so we got Stephen Luker, we got Will Clark, we got Johnny Gomez. I know I have to scroll all the way down to find Eric Burns because he was the first person that I ever uploaded onto No Filter was Eric, I think. Down. We got Sean Casey. We got here's a great picture. I love this picture of Eric, but I use it too much, so we're gonna use it here. We're going to make Eric bigger so he's as big as at least everyone else. Cool. And then who else do we got? Sean Casey could probably be in this. Got a picture of Sean Casey. And then, oh, let's get a picture of Kevin Euclid because Kevin is also probably going to be here. So I don't have an image of Kevin, so we're going to go Kevin Euclid. We're going to find a great picture of him. Here's a good full body picture of him. It's the Wikipedia one, so that's usually pretty safe. And what I'll just do is I'll hit copy image, and I'll go back, I'll hit paste. And then there you go. There's Kevin. So what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to make sure everyone's kind of the same size, and I'm going to start hitting that background remover effect on everyone, right? So we got Eric Burns. We're going to get rid of his background. We got Sean Casey. We're going to get rid of his background. And this works better if you don't try to remove all the backgrounds at once. Obviously, Canva is a program that's based on, it's a web-based program. So if you try to overload its tasks too much, it can kind of crap out. I'm hoping that one of these can let me show you. So this is processing right now, but I want to show you another cool feature of the background remover. So when the background remover happens, you'll see there's this select a brush thing that comes up, erase and restore. I don't know why again, this is a good example. So say I wanted to have Kevin here, but you see how his bat's still there? Say I just wanted Kevin. What I'll do is I'll hit erase after I do that initial application, and it opens up this whole other thing. And what I can do is I can literally create a bigger brush size, and then I can erase his bat. Okay, so if I just want Kevin there, but I don't want his bat, there you go. Once I hit done up here, boom. Now I have a background removed and I have Kevin. Now I'm having the issue where I can't really click on Steven because we have these other two guys in the front, right? So it will selectively allow you to click whatever image is in the front. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Eric and I'm going to put him in the back for a second. So I'm going to backward until he's in the back. Then I'm going to do the same thing to Sean, to back. I'm going to put you to back. And then we got Steven here. We're going to remove Steven's background. And then Steven, you're going in the back while you do that. And then I can hit Johnny. Johnny can also have his background removed. And then we can have Will, and his background can be removed. While we're waiting for that to process here, you guys, I'm just going to check the chat, see if we have any questions. Hey, Gary, it's nice to meet you, man. So yeah, I just noticed your Geo show. I think I posted up a promo for it yesterday. I was pretty happy to see. But I'm happy that this is useful. So cool, guys. Now everyone has their background is removed, right? So we're going to kind of arrange everyone in the best way that we can. I kind of think that with that nice, I think Will should be behind Johnny. Yeah, I think these guys are doing good here. Yeah, I kind of like that. And we'll have Eric kind of more in the middle because he's sort of the. Sorry, Steven, I'm going to have to get rid of you. But I did want to show you as an example, right? So we're going to have Eric, we're going to have him nice and big because it is his show, right? But again, we have this issue where this is for social media, but we always want to kind of bias our content more towards the center, right? We're gonna have that there. And now what I'll do is I'll find, I'm going to take a look. You have the option to preview what the whole thing looks like by hitting this play button here. So hit the play button. Okay, cool. So we got everyone. We got the baseballs in the back. That looks pretty good. What we're going to do next is we're going to add some text to that. So see what a good text format would be. Action. Well, this is action, right? So let's drag the action up to the middle. We're going to increase the font size from 208 to like, I don't know, 315. Yeah, that's pretty big. We're going to stretch it out so that we have more room, and we're going to say Deuces Wilds. And we can center it. If you want to nudge it, by the way, if you hit the arrow keys after you've selected it, you can nudge it from side to side and it'll still give you the lines as you know, right? So that's centered. Deuces Wild. We could even make it like really dramatic. We could move this, we could position this in the back, and then we can make it, oops, we can make it massive. So we could, I don't know, call it 615. Or make it super wide. We kind of have that overlap effect. That's pretty cool. I like how that looks. So now if we look at that again, Deuces Wild. All right, this is cool. Now, what if I want to add a little bit more of a descriptive text? Well, I have my my heading text here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a size. Let's do a size 6. No, a lot bigger than that. 96. And we'll say star-studded live alternative all www.nofilter.net. Okay, this is pretty cool. I'm going to bring it down to the bottom here. But as you can see, it's not very visible being black, right? So what I'm going to first do is I'm going to increase the size of the font. That still doesn't really work. Now the issue is because we have a black and white background, if I just change the font to, say, white, that's still not any more visible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a text effect to this. So I'm going to keep it white, but I'm going to go to the effects. I'm going to experiment with a few different effects. I'm going to first try lift. Lift is the first basic one. It's a little bit more visible. It's okay, but it's not the best. So I'm going to go back to effects. I'm going to try shadow. I'm going to change the color of the shadow to black. And then I'm going to make it the most dramatic that I possibly could. I'll blur it a little bit. And then test that. That's a little bit more visible, but I think it still could be better. So what I'm going to try now is let's go to Splice. Splice is one of the best ones for visibility. And what we're going to do is we're going to change it to white. And then we're going to make the outline black. We're going to make it even bigger. That's pretty good, but it could still have more of an outline. So we can actually increase the thickness. We can change the offset so that it's completely centered. The direction doesn't matter because it's centered, and then we can keep futzing with the thickness until we're happy with it. So what do you say, guys? Is that kind of visible? I still don't really like it, right? So I'm gonna drag it up. If sometimes it just doesn't work, and sometimes you're gonna want to just keep playing with it until it looks good. So star-studded live alternative baseball broadcasting on www.nofilter.net. Deuces Wild. So this is pretty cool. Now I have a video ad for my for my stream. And actually, if I check the Deuces Wild stream, it's going to happen at 7 p.m. my time, which is 6 p.m. PST. So I can even just add a tiny little heading here. I'm going to just increase the size of that to 6. Bold it. I'm going to make it white so that it's visible, and we'll say 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. PST. And what I'll do is I'll align it to the bottom right corner, so then we just have the time so people know when it's going to. Yeah, it doesn't look that great. So again, you can keep futzing with the alignment until you find something that you like. Kind of like that. So I'll look at that one more time. Okay, I'm happy with that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to hit this button here, which is download, right? And you have a few different download options. The default when you use a video background is an MP4. So if you want to save it as that, it'll be the video format. If you save it as a JPEG or a PNG. JPEG is a smaller image size, which is easier to share. I recommend doing JPEGs for if you're just doing something on Instagram or on Facebook. But if you want to save this as a banner, you would save this as a PNG file, right? So PNG is a high quality image. It's something that is going to show up really, really good. Every time I do one of my own event cards, I save it as a PNG. When you go to Eric's thing, you can see it's kind of blurry here in the background. If you go to Eric's account, like some of the images end up being blurry, even with the small images, because they're probably saved as a JPEG. So what you want to do is when you're saving your event card, you want to save it as a PNG file. So we're going to go to an MP4 because I want to put this on Instagram, and then it'll start downloading. I also want to save it as a PNG file because I want to send it to Eric so that he can upload it to his event, right? You have the option too where if you wanted to save an image with a transparent background, you can do that, and then what'll happen is that video in the background is not going to be visible at all, and you can copy paste it onto whatever foreground you want, but we're not going to do that. We're going to download it as a PNG. And then down here it shows you it's going to save as Basketball with Anthony, by the way. I should have just Deuce's Wild event card 4,000, because we need 4,000 of these. But in the bottom here you have your downloads. So this is the PNG file, not my selfie. And what I can do is I can actually hit this button here. If you're on a MacBook, you can send it right over. I'm actually going to text Eric. I'm going to send it to myself and text Eric so that Eric's phone number doesn't show up on my screen and people don't start texting Eric randomly. So I'm gonna airdrop myself so that I have this image. Eventually I'll show up, I swear. Turn my Bluetooth on my phone on. And this is like the easiest way to do this is that if you have a MacBook and a iPhone, that's the best case scenario, but not everyone is fortunate enough to just be able to do that. So I got my iPhone here, and then boom, it just showed up on my phone. So now I have that image. If you here, you can probably see that. I got that image now, it's on my phone. So I'm waiting for the MP4 video to download, and then we're gonna be golden there. But that's the gist of it, guys. So I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. And even though I said it's easy to use on a MacBook, it's also easy to do on a PC. So if you didn't have a MacBook and you couldn't do that, you could also just email yourself the file. So when it saves to your computer, you can just go to your Gmail, send yourself a Gmail to yourself basically with the file attached, and then you can either open the file from your phone, you can open the file anywhere you want basically. You can open it on your friend's computer, and you can upload it wherever you need to. As long as it's saved to your computer, you can do whatever you want with it. I just happen to love the fact that MacBooks allow me to airdrop from one device to another without having to go through that extra step, right? So you could text it to yourself. Canva also, guys, works on mobile. So if you download the Canva app, right, which I have on my phone as well, because sometimes I'm on the road and I have to make social media posts while I'm mobile, there is the Canva app, which has my account on there. And if I look at my recent designs somewhere, oh, what's this? Deuce's Wild event card. It's almost like I just made that. So it's loading. Oh, look at that. It's the Deuce's Wild event card. So you don't even need, you can do everything that I just did on the laptop from your mobile device. The layout is just a little bit different, but it's all the same features. And yeah, sometimes you'll have to format it a little bit differently, but just double check that the format translated from your laptop to your iPhone, and then you're going to be pretty much golden there. Do you guys have any questions about how you can save, how you can share, how you can do some of the stuff? Any questions about the features, or was anything not super clear to you? Yeah, so the mobile app is pretty amazing, right? And then the reason that I use it too is sometimes, like for example, this morning I designed something on the computer, but I had to run out to a doctor's appointment, and I didn't have the chance to actually download the image. So while I was, my partner was driving me to the doctor, and so I was able to just open the app, download it, and then make the social media post. And so even if you design everything on your laptop, you can just access all of your designs because it's stored in the cloud on Canva. You can access it there. So yeah, MP4 for Instagram is pretty cool. What I find it's useful for is for stories that are a little bit more engaging. I'll show you one more thing actually, just while we're doing this. I'll show you how to make it. So we got, so this is one of my favorite features. Say I wanted to turn this into an Instagram story. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit resize, and then you literally have all these different options, and you can do, I'll just search Instagram story, copy and resize. So it won't eliminate your original, but it'll make a copy of it. And now, boom, I have this this thing, and it's obviously, it looks like a little bit of a mess because it resized basically in that landscape, but we have this Instagram story format. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it huge, and I'm going to change everything about it, right? So I'm going to go deuce it. Child. We'll center that. We'll go here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stack it all on itself. And what I can even do here, this can probably be a little bit smaller. Yeah, there you go. Live alternative, baseball broadcasting. We got this, we'll center it, boom. And now what we can do is we can make these guys all a little bit bigger. It'll look a little bit different, which I kind of like. But that literally, this is the best feature ever if you need to make a multi-use post, because sometimes you don't want to make 40 different graphics for an Instagram story and repurpose what you already have, and boom, there you go. We got an Instagram story, and I'm actually, so the only issue is Instagram stories are only 15 seconds long, and the video that I chose here is 23 seconds long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the background, and it tells you the 23 seconds up here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it until this number on the left says 15 seconds. Oh, look at that. Cool. Now it's 15 seconds long. I'm going to increase the transparency a little bit. Now I'll download it. And if you check the No Filter Network Instagram page in a minute here, we're going to have that show up in our stories. And we're probably going to post it to Twitter and everything too. So this is a very, very useful feature for if you want to repurpose posts that you made, then you can very easily do this. So guys, since you two are the two, we got Stephen Luker and we got Gary, I'm fully expecting to see you guys start making really good event cards now. Every show that you post, you should at least have a default cool event card on your new events, okay? So that's fully what I'm expecting. So that's almost saved. Downloading. It's always the last little bit, hey? Like that, it's at 99%, and the last 1% always takes the longest for some reason. Who knows why that is, but that just seems to be the case. Also, if you don't want to have this menu on the side while you're working, you can minimize it, and you can also zoom in and zoom out. Might even change the effect on this to a shadow. I like that better. But I don't really like that, so I changed my mind. We're going to change it to white and lift, and boom, that looks the best so far. I don't know what happened to the video, but anyway, the video did save. And again, so this is like your own aesthetic sensibilities. This is how I like to do it. This is what I think looks good. There you go. You saved your design. Hit that. airdrop it to myself, airdrop, and then boom, it's on my phone. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Instagram, swipe up, it's right there with the rest of my images. Boom, ready to go. If it's too big, if you find it's going to be cut off here, you can literally just pinch like that, make it fit the whole screen, then just tag whoever you want to have in it. Then we'll have Eric just tagged. There you go, uploaded. So guys, I hope that was helpful. Do you have any other questions about how this works or how this could be applied to your filter, to your content, to anything else? Because if not, that's fine. If you guys do have any questions, I'm always available at media@nofilter.net. I am the head of social media and the head of graphics, and I love helping people with the aesthetic side of things. So if you guys ever have any issues, you can send me a direct message on the @nofilternet Instagram page, or you can send me a direct email to media@nofilter.net. I really do hope this was helpful, because I find that having good looking images for your stuff, it just helps. It makes it look more professional. It gives a really good sort of sense. It has that personal touch. And I mean, for me, I'm going to share one more thing, and I'm just going to show you how easy it is to make a branded version. So if I go home, I'm going to show you this. So this is my Set the Tone podcast. Right? And say I was going to do a Set the Tone podcast with and I wanted to keep this brand, and I wanted to do one with Johnny, right? So what I would do is I would just drag this picture of Johnny here, and then what's Johnny's color? Johnny was in the Red Sox, so if I search in photos, I'll search red. Okay, we got a bunch of different options for red, so I'll drag the red here, and then I'll decrease the transparency. I'll set the background again to black. And then we'll just change it to Melanie Gomez, baseball badass. And then there you go. You have the exact same sort of thing set up. It's a branded image, but I changed it like that, right? So I don't have to do very much editing at all. I have everything preset. You can set frames. So if you search frames, it has all these different image frames, which is how I, basically use this frame for Johnny here. I think if I had this circle frame and I drag Johnny into it, if I drag Johnny into the circle frame, then boom, Johnny's there, right? So you can literally have frames, and that's how you create, a consistent logo where you can just drag and drop everything. So I hope that was helpful, guys.